Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, love attraction, all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we're going to unpack your co-creator process. Okay, so when we're manifesting and we're placing our order, right, we're pretending as if a waiter or a waitress is coming to our table and we're looking at the menu, right, of all the things we want in our life, and we're picking them out, and then we're sending it and giving it to the waiter, the waitress. They're taking the order, which is the universe, and then they go off and they go and create it, right? The chef makes the meal. You don't wonder if the chef is making the meal. They're literally getting paid to do it. They're working in your favor. So if you can see life as working for you and you're just delivering what you want, you're placing the order. If you continuously hold the menu and imagine the waiter or waitress standing at your table, and imagine if they never left your table. Okay, this is why our manifestations get stuck. They're literally standing there and you're taking a really long time. You're kind of clear on what you want, but then you have these limiting beliefs that question it. So the limiting beliefs are like a magnet for the waiter and the waitress. They're not releasing the person to leave the table and to go get started on your meal. And these limiting beliefs cause us to say, well, I don't know how that's going to come in. So I don't know if I should ask for it, or maybe this is too much money and I shouldn't ask for it because I'm not worthy of it. Or what if I mess it up? Or what if I can't hold it? Or what if this person isn't who I want? Or what if this manifestation won't make me feel what I want to feel? And that keeps us looping, right? Can you feel that energy of just sitting there staring at the menu and just you kind of know what you want, but subconsciously you're not willing to fully let go and just ask for it. Okay. And a lot of people do this, right? They think they've told the waiter and the waitress and they think they've left the table. But when you start to go into fear and doubt and wondering how it's going to come in, when, what it's going to look like, that is slowing down the waiter or the waitress. The order is not getting to the chef. Therefore, the universe isn't starting to work for you. It's not doing anything for you. It's not getting the order, and it wants to make you your food. It wants to please you. It wants your belly to be full and satisfied with all the joy, love, peace, and money this world has to offer. So something that I've been working on with my clients and myself is when we are asking for something, it's safe to just ask and let it go, because you can trust that if that meal comes to your table and it's not quite right, you can send it back, right? It might just take a little bit longer, but the more you refine the meal, the happier you're going to be. So don't be afraid in the moment to let go of the order and to let them have it and be okay with it coming in and not being perfect. Okay. Because what's going to happen is every time the meal comes out, it's more and more and more of what you want. And you're refining that list. So as the meal comes out and you're like, you taste the food, you're like, oh, wow, I don't really like broccoli. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't really like this seasoning. Can I try something else? Or can you bring another condiment that I can put on it to make it taste better? This is you refining your list. So as these manifestations come in, right, they come into our reality, it's not the end game. You can take it, look at it and go, oh, this isn't quite it. This might be 80%. This might be 90%, but let me go back to the drawing board. Let me go back to the menu. And now that I have more of a broader perspective about what I really like, because maybe I don't know what I like. Maybe I grew up in a house where I wasn't given options and I just had to settle for what was on the table symbolically, right? But now we are co-creators. We can expand our imagination and go, if you're wanting a car and you're like, why can't I have heated seats? Why can't I have a heated steering wheel? You can have all the bells and whistles, but if you've been driving a car where you didn't even think about having a heated steering wheel, your brain just didn't go there. That's what manifesting does. The universe loves us so much. It wants us to go deeper into the full experience, the luxury, the bliss, the joy. And sometimes when we grew up in trauma or we grew up wounded or just not being able to expand our imagination, we don't even think that's possible for us because we lived in such a different environment for so long. So the conditioning, every time a meal comes back to the table, because you let go of your order, you're like, all right, let me just see what happens. It comes in, you're like, oh, it's not really it yet. You say, okay, I'm going to send it back out. You're letting go of that conditioning going, I'm not settling. I'm not settling. I'm not settling. And it's okay to do this. A lot of people think that they're doing it wrong because something comes in and it's not the 100%. Or they thought they wanted it and they had been asking for it and the universe delivered it and they're still not happy. So it's all a refinement. It's all you unpacking what you really want. And a lot of times the universe knows what we want and it's bringing us these things to show us, nope, that's not it. You can ask for more, babe. The universe wants you to ask for more. So think about it that way. You're at a restaurant, you're at the table, you're looking at the menu, you're picking something and you're quickly just sending it out. You're like, all right, I'm pretty sure I want this. Then it comes in and you're like, okay, this is probably 75%. I've tasted it. It's not fabulous. Let me go and add something else to it, right? And if you're looking to buy a home, it could be, maybe you thought you wanted a detached garage. And then you went and looked at a home and then you thought, wow, the winters get pretty cold here. Maybe I want my garage to be attached to my home so I don't have to go out into the snow to get into my car, right? That's an example of you finding the manifestation came in, you found a house to go look at, but it's not quite, you thought you wanted it, but you didn't. And we get to go back to the menu and we get to reorder. So a lot of times the ego and the wounding beats us up and says, see, your manifestation isn't it, you're never going to be happy, nothing's ever going to come in, it's not going to be all that you want it to be. But that's just the reordering process. We have to let go of those thoughts and say, wow, I'm a co-creator, and if this isn't perfect, I can make it perfect. And the universe is bringing me these options so fast and it's working with me. And thank you, universe. Thank you so much for bringing me this 90%er, because now I know I can ask for more. And it's a loving relationship. Imagine it as a parent or a husband or a wife, and they just keep serving you. They just keep bringing you whatever you ask for. Even if you change your mind 10 different times, that's okay. You've been through so much and you might not even know what you like. Or you might be deconstructing the ego and the old you wanted that thing. But now that you're more evolved, you're like, you know what? I don't really need that to be happy. I want less. Or maybe you thought you wanted a home with all these different things. You're like, you know what? Less is more. I don't want that responsibility, or I don't want to have to cut the grass. I'm going to manifest a house where the lawn care and snow removal is taken care of for me. Why not ask for that? And I find that a lot of my clients will journal this and they'll start to really think like, I don't think that's possible. There's no way. I've never heard of anybody, being able to be in a home where somebody just takes care of everything for them. And I tell them, hey, if it's in your imagination, it's possible. You can manifest it. Who's to say you don't manifest a home where it's somebody's vacation spot, right? Or maybe they leave for 6 months out of the year and it's this beautiful, luxurious, like $1 million home, and they just want somebody reliable in it to just nurture it and take care of it while they're gone. And maybe you don't have to do all the crazy things because they have the money, they have lawn care, they have snow removal because they've already lived there and they pay people to do that for them. And then you just get to slide in and just be in the home and get to enjoy the home without having to do any of the work. If that's what you want, you can ask for that. So really think about, what are you ordering? And then when you're getting the meal and it's arriving, the manifestation, unpack it. Don't just jump into it and take it, because you might not be happy. It might not be everything you wanted. And know that in any moment you can order again. And you're consistently refining and refining and refining. And the way we refine is throughout the day. I was just talking to a client about this yesterday because she has not been doing this. She really wants to leave her job. She wants to leave her marriage. She wants to leave her home. I said, okay, how often are you going into the bubble of you in the new life? And she wasn't really thinking about it throughout the day. She was only living her life. So I gave her the assignment. I was like, on your drive to work, while you're at work, if there's a spare moment, and then on your drive home, these are 3 times during the day where you're just going to imagine yourself walking into the new home. You're going to imagine yourself living alone temporarily until she finds her dream man. And she's going to imagine herself giving her notice at her job and getting this brand new job where she's talking to all these other awakened women who celebrate her and want to hear what she has to say, and they support her. Right? We have to go into the reordering process in our imagination every single day. If you want out of something, if you want to co-create something, you have to be so dedicated to you and to this new reality that you have to be thinking about it. Wherever our intention goes, energy flows. So if you're not ever thinking about it or going back to the menu and asking, what do I want? And just because you decided on something for 2 weeks and you played it in your imagination over and over and over again, who's to say you can't go back and refine it? Now you're just adding another thing to the list, right? My guides just also gave me a vision of somebody working with pottery or clay, and say you're molding your dream home, and every day you're getting a new idea. So then you sit down and then you mold a new little piece, right? Maybe you mold a cute little garage, and then you're like, oh, I would love like a tree with a beautiful swing. And you didn't think about that when you were making the home. So then you go and you grab more clay and then you make it. That's what manifestation is. We keep adding to our plate, we keep adding to our art so that it can be the most beautiful, most luxurious, most enjoyable, most fulfilling thing that we could ever have. So you're worthy of adding more. So keep adding more, and don't feel like the universe got your old order and it can't be changed. In every moment, you can shift. Things can shift in 10 hours, in 12 hours. And the whole point of this process is you're uncovering who you are. You're uncovering your abilities. So if something does come in, remember this: I am a powerful co-creator and I can change things in any moment. Nothing is fixed. Even if it's the dream home and there's one thing wrong with it, go into your imagination, go back to the menu and say, you know what? I would really love if these people would pay for snow removal, right? Or whatever it is. I really wish these people would pay to have a dishwasher installed if the home didn't have that. Just, you can create anything. We are living in a universe that is so malleable, and God and the universe loves us and wants us to keep asking. So this is your call to action. Refine your list. Keep ordering new meals over and over and over again until you get it right. And life is going to be an ever unfolding process of new things, and we're going to find that we like new things. Like, I'm starting to like painting. So the next place I want to go to, I want a room that is bright with a lot of lighting and windows where I can paint and look out the window and see nature. And I can make a mess with the paint and it won't ruin the floor. That could be like an outdoor garage, right? So I'm refining my list because I'm discovering that I like new things now. The old Michelle would have never asked for that. I would have never even thought about it. So I pulled out the menu and I asked again, and I added it to my list. Okay, so if you need help doing this, click the link in the comments. I run a coaching program, I run a mentorship, I do one-to-one calls, I do intuitive readings. I would love to help you refine your list and then help you keep reordering in your imagination and keep playing it over and over and over again. There's certain practices that you can do to really lock it in. Certain times of day, certain modalities that I can give you that you can do to where your body really feels like you're in that new life. Okay, so hit the link in the comments. I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace out.